Hey guys, so welcome to today's video. We're going to be starting off with the colorful eye first, and then we're going to move on to the neutral eye. Just so you know, I filmed these obviously 2 different days, and the neutral eye is actually a talk through, but for today's video I had to do a voiceover just because people were in the house and it was noisy. So yeah, let's just get started. So I started off with the P. Louise eyeshadow base, and I put that on with a sponge. And now I'm going to go in with this darker brown. It came out more purpley because I already had red on my brush. But I'm just working this into my crease and patting it and kind of winging it out a little bit because we are doing a cut crease. So we want kind of that winged placement. So I'm just applying this first with a little brush. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply the red shade from the palette, and I'm just going to press that above the first color that we did. And I do a lot of little pressing motions to get the color down first, and then I worry about blending. Again, this is going to be one of those looks that looks a little crazy at first, but it all comes together, I promise. Right now I'm just kind of focus on getting the color down, and then I'll worry about maneuvering it and blending it to where it needs to be. Now taking this red orange shade, this is actually one of my favorite shades from the palette. It's just so beautiful. I switched over to a smaller blending brush, and I'm just applying that on top of the red that we applied. And I just kind of liked the shade of it, so I wanted to add it in. And then I'm taking the orange, I'm going to apply that at the very top, just working that into like the brow bone area. Obviously with looks like these I go pretty high up to the brow bone because it's a colorful artistic look. On an everyday look I would not go this high with my shadow, but with this look you can. So again, just kind of patting and going back and forth. This is also a really beautiful orange, just a beautiful shade in general. Now taking that pale yellow shade, you could use the regular like true yellow shade as well, but I like the pale yellow for this side. So yeah, I'm just going to apply that at the very top, just blending out the edges of the shadow and making sure that it looks nice and blended. And again, don't worry about the bottom part of the shadow because we're going to be going in with a product to cut the crease, so that's all going to be cleaned up. Now just taking the black, I'm going to work on the blue side of the cut crease. So I just want a really dark base, so I'm going in with the black, and then eventually I'm going to add in the blue to make it like a dark blue. That's what I do love about this palette. It has a big black and a big white, so you can lighten your shades or darken them if you want. I did go in with the purple just to kind of mesh the two sides together. I felt like purple was an appropriate color for this. And yeah, I'm just working that in. And then I'm taking that blue and I'm going to go over the black. And you can see it just makes like a really nice dark blue. Now taking this really pretty aqua blue, I'm going to use that above the darker blue that we applied. I did switch brushes as well. It is important when doing looks like these to switch around your brushes often because you don't want the colors to be running into each other too much. Even if you wipe off the brush, there usually is still some shadow from the previous shadow that you used on the brush, which could affect the next shade that you're using. So I do suggest switching around the brushes as often as you can when doing looks like these if you really want it to look clean. Now taking the yellow, I'm just applying that. I kind of wanted it to be like a yellowy green, obviously, because, you know, we're putting it on top of blue. So I'm just applying that up towards the front of my brow, and then I'm taking a yellow on a big brush and just really like dusting that throughout the whole crease area. Now we're going to cut the crease, so I'm using the P. Louise base again, and I just look straight and see where my fold is for my eye, and I just go right above that. That way when I look straight you can still see the cut crease part, because I do have hooded lids. So yeah, I'm just going to cut the crease, and yeah. Now moving on to the lid color, I'm just taking that color right there, which is I think called Ring Light, and I'm just going to apply that all over the lid. I just wanted something more natural for the lid, not that this look is natural whatsoever, but I just wanted something that wasn't so vibrant, because I wanted all the color to kind of be on the lower lash line and in the cut crease area. So I'm just taking a little brush to get up towards the cut crease area, because it's kind of hard to get in there with the eyeshadow with a big eyeshadow brush. So now I'm going to take the Space Panda Hydro Liner by Suva Beauty. I'm just getting that wet, and then I'm going to do a white line right underneath my crease. I love doing this when I do cut creases because it just kind of cleans up the crease area and it just makes it pop that much more. Using my Makeup Forever liquid liner, this has been one of my favorites. I'm just going to create a nice wing. What I love about this is it's really black and really matte, and it dries super fast. But I decided to kind of smudge out the liner a little bit because, I don't know, I just like the look of it. So I just added a little bit of black shadow on a brush and just kind of smudged the edges of the liner. I just didn't want it to be like a perfect wing. I kind of wanted it smoked out a little bit. So as you can see, I went ahead and did my face makeup, and now I'm just applying a purple eyeliner on the lower lash line. I believe this is by Morphe, and it's called All Night, I think. I'm just taking the matte purple from the palette and the darkest one, and I'm going to smudge that on the lower lash line, smudging out the liner. This is a really beautiful matte purple, by the way. Not all matte purples blend really nicely, but this one was really nice. And then I'm taking that hot pink shade, which I love. It's super pretty. I definitely want to do a look with this shade, like being the focus. And I'm just using that shade to blend out the purple. And yeah, I'm bringing it up towards the wing as well because I want it to kind of blend all together. Now taking the yellow, the actual yellow shade, not the pale yellow, the vibrant yellow from the palette. I'm using that on the inner corner. And then I'm going to take a shimmering pigment. I was using the Dose of Colors pigment, and of course I can't remember the name. But yeah, just take a shimmery eyeshadow and you can just apply it on top just to make it shimmery. The matte is beautiful too, but I just always like a little shimmer. So that is it for this look. I did add little stars in between the two colors, and now we're going to move on to the next one. Okay guys, so I did prime my eye earlier with the P. Louise eyeshadow base, but now I'm going to move on to eyeshadow. So the first color that I'm going to be using is Tea, which is this brown shade right here. I'm going to take a brush like this. So I'm just going to start off by kind of patting this color and wiggling it into my crease. I did use the P. Louise base because I wanted the colors to be really pigmented and rich. If you're going for a softer, like everyday look, you're gonna want to use like a concealer or something that isn't so tacky. So working that color onto the inner portion of my eye as well. You don't want to forget about this part in here. I'm gonna go in with like one more light layer of this shade just to make sure that it's really packed into that crease. I'm just wiping off this brush real quick just to get off any excess shadow. Now we're gonna go in with the shade Punch Me, which is like a nice light neutral brown. I'm gonna take this same brush and I'm going to start kind of working this on the edge of the darker brown. Don't forget about this outer corner here. You want to make sure that you do blend it out here. So I just kind of do like little C motions like this. I'm going to mix the two shades together, Tea and Canvas, Punch Me. And I'm just going to wiggle my brush kind of in between the two shades. Taking the shade Punch Me on a bigger blending brush, I'm going to use this to blend up towards the brow and just kind of diffuse that color throughout the upper part of the crease. Alright, now moving on to the lid, we're going to be using NYX Glitter Glue. A little tip to really make eyeshadow, well, shimmery shadows in particular, I wouldn't use this with matte shadows, but shimmery shadows are going to really pop on top of this because it's a nice tacky base. But what's nice about it is it doesn't have color, so it's not going to make your eyelids cakey and feel like they're caked with concealer and all of that. It's just like a thin glitter glue, so it's just a very thin product, and then when you put shimmer on top, as you can see, it just makes it like really metallic. So I'm just taking the glitter glue on a flat brush like this, and I'm going to kind of cut my crease with it. Now taking the color So Good, which is a nice light gold, I'm going to apply this on the inner portion of my eye. I'm just going to go back in with the glitter glue brush just to make sure that this area is still tacky as well. Now taking the color Wig, which is this color here, I'm going to apply that on the rest of my lid where the glitter glue is. Now taking this color Benny, I'm going to apply this on the outer corner. This is like a nice plummy chocolate brown, and I'm just going to pat this on the outer corner right out here. Gonna make sure to kind of drag it over the gold shade, just to kind of mesh the two together. I'm just gonna spray this brush here. Now taking the color Ring Lights, I'm just going to apply that on the inner corner, and this is gonna really brighten up that inner corner. And I do recommend using this damp to really look nice and vibrant. I'm going to take what's left on the pencil brush and just kind of work that color right at the arch of my brow. And then I take my finger and I'm just going to kind of blend the edge so it's not a harsh highlight. Taking this color here by Morphe, this is a brown liner in the color Toasty, and I'm going to apply this to my waterline. Taking the color Benny, I'm just going to apply that on the lower lash line. Taking this cream shadow by Dose of Colors, it comes with a pigment on the bottom. I'm going to apply the cream part to my inner corner. Taking the ring light shade, I'm going to apply that on the inner corner on top of the cream shadow. Off of camera, I'm just going to apply a winged liner with the Makeup Forever eyeliner. So I'm going to do another wing, and I'm also going to apply some falsies, and I'll be back.